Welcome back, student. This video lecture is prepared for the heat transfer subject, and I will discuss the unit number 3, that is radiation. Then these are the contents of radiation chapters that we have already covered lot of contents, and in the last lecture I have already discussed, that is how to calculate the exchange of energy between two parallel plates or planes of a different emissivity. And at the end of lecture I had discussed exchange between the sphere or cylinder enclosures. Now we will discuss how to solve the problem for sphere or cylindrical enclosures. Wait for 1 minute. So this is that slide where we have that formula, exchange between sphere or cylinder enclosures. So this formula I have already discussed, and we have to solve the example which is based on this formula. So we will discuss the example sphere with spherical enclosures. Okay, so this is that diagram, sphere enclosure with spherical enclosures. So before going to actually problem, I want to give some introduction about this problem. So in chemical industry, the gases, industrial gases or sometimes air is liquefied and kept into the sphere, and this sphere is enclosed by another sphere. Okay, so this is the one sphere, and this sphere is enclosed by the another sphere, and the space between these two spheres is evacuated. Evacuated means the air is taken out or vacuum is created. In another word, we can say vacuum is created. So why we are doing this? Because if we kept the air through this part, then the heat is transferred by convection also and radiation also. So to avoid that, we have to remove the air from this space. So it is known as the evacuation. And in this problem we have also calculated the rate of evaporation. So that means the gases is at a lower temperature, so the gases or air may be condensed or evaporated. So that rate we have to calculate in that problem. So how to calculate we will discuss. First I will read this problem. The space between the two concentric spherical vessels is completely evacuated. The inner space contains air at 76 Kelvin. So it is in a minus 197 degrees Celsius. The ambient temperature is 300 Kelvin, that means 27 degrees Celsius. The inner surface of the sphere are highly polished. The surface of the sphere are highly polished, and it is having emissivity E is equal to 0.04, and find the rate of evaporation of the liquid air per hour. And the data is given that diameter of the inner sphere 250 mm, diameter of the outer sphere 350 mm, and the latent heat of vaporization of air is equal to 200 kilojoules per kg. So first we will understand the problem. So here there are two spheres. So first sphere is enclosed by another sphere. Then the space between these two spheres is evacuated, that means air is taken out. The inner sphere contains air at 76 Kelvin, that means at a minus temperature the air is kept, or we can say in the liquid form. And the ambient temperature, that means atmospheric temperature, is 300 Kelvin. and these two spheres is having polished material. So polished material we are using for to reduce the emissivity. So both spheres is having emissivity is equal to 0.04, and we have to find the rate of evaporation of the liquid air per hour. So as this temperature is negative, so some evaporation is taking place in this sphere. So that evaporation rate we have to calculate. So for that purpose we have to calculate first Q, and then after calculation of Q we can calculate the rate of evaporation. So first we have to use this formula. Q is equal to sigma A1 into the bracket T1 to the power 4 minus T2 to the power 4 divided by 1 plus E1 plus A1 upon A2 multiply by bracket 1 upon E2 minus 1 bracket complete. So here sigma is Stefan-Boltzmann constant, A1 is the area of inner sphere, A2 is the area of the outer sphere. So these are the formulae. And if we take the ratio A1 by A2, so this pi and this pi get cancelled and we are having only the diameters. So this formula can be converted in this form, and we have already given diameters 250 millimeter inner diameter. So this is the 250 and outer diameter is 350. So this outer diameter is 350. So you have to convert that into meter, and we already know the temperature. T1 is 76 Kelvin, T2 is equal to 300 Kelvin. So you have to just put all this value and calculate the answer, which is equal to the minus 2.45 watt. So here the minus sign is indicated here. So what is meant by this minus sign? The heat is transferred from outer body or outer surface to the inner surface. Therefore the minus sign is included here. In previous problems we don't have minus sign, so Q is positive. So here also we can take Q as for calculation purpose as a positive. So Q we take as a positive, which is equal to 2.45 watt. But the latent heat of vaporization of air is given in kilojoules per kg units. So for that purpose we have to convert these watt into kilojoules per hour. So we know that watt is nothing but joules per second. This is called watt, and just we have to convert that joules per second into kilojoules per hour. So for that purpose we have to multiply by 10 to the power minus 3 to this value, and again multiply by 3600. So to convert second into hour. Okay, so for conversion of joules to kilojoule we have to multiply by 10 to the power minus 3, and for conversion of second to hours we have to multiply by 3600. So doing this calculation we obtain the value 8.82 kilojoules per hour. Okay, so this is the net heat exchange in kilojoules per hour. Then in convection chapter we have already discussed this formula, m dot h into lambda is equal to Q. So when the latent heat of evaporation is taking place, at that time you have to use this formula. So what is meant by m dot h? M dot is nothing but the rate of evaporation, lambda is the latent heat of vaporization of that air, and Q is net heat exchange. So if we take this lambda in this side, it will divide to Q. So Q divided by lambda we get m dot h. So m dot h is nothing but rate of evaporation. So put all these value, we know Q 8.82 and divided by 200, that is the value of lambda, we get the answer 0.0441 kilojoules per hour. So in this way we have discussed how to calculate the energy exchange or heat exchange between sphere or cylindrical enclosure, and then we have discussed the problem based on that formula. So here this chapter is get completed, and in the conclusion part I have already want to mention which points we have already covered in this chapter. So we have already completed the what is meant by radiation, definition of radiation, examples of radiation. Then we have already discussed some definitions like absorptivity, reflectivity, transmittivity, black body, and monochromatic emissive power, total emissive power. Then we have discussed about some laws of black body radiation like Kirchhoff's law, Stefan-Boltzmann law, Planck's law, Wien's displacement law, and then we have calculated the formula or one example. We have taken one example how to calculate the heat transfer by radiation, and then we can having the another formula which is used for exchange of energy between two plates or planes of different emissivity, and how to solve the example which is based on this problem we have already discussed. Then in the last part we have discussed about exchange between sphere or cylindrical enclosures, means heat exchange, and we have already solved one problem. So these are the contents of your radiation chapters. So here the chapter is completed, and I have prepared one tutorial. So this tutorial is posted in your Google Classroom. So what are the questions included in this tutorial? So there are some definitions you have to define: radiation, absorptivity, emissivity, opaque material, gray body. The second question is you have to just write what do you mean by black body. Then you have to give the examples of radiation heat transfer. Then we have to derive the Kirchhoff's law of radiation. So this is already done in a previous lectures. Then you have to state the Stefan-Boltzmann law of radiation and Planck's law. Then you have to write the brief note on concept of a black body. And at end of the tutorial, you have to solve one small problem for calculation of heat loss per unit area from the steam pipe to the surrounding to the air. So the emissivity of that steam pipe is given, temperature of the steam pipe is given, and outer temperature of the air is also given. So from this data we can calculate the heat loss through the steam pipe. Okay, so this is the end of today's lecture, and thanks to all students.